Good morning, friends. It is the Geeky Fireman, and today we're going to take a quick look at the most recent Build-A-Figure from the Captain Marvel wave, the MCU Captain Marvel wave, Marvel Legends. And that Build-A-Figure is, of course, the Kree Sentry BAF. Mr. Morales is up in the corner keeping his company. Real quick before we get into this, guys, I know that this particular BAF is a little bit divisive. Some people really like it, some people really hate it. I haven't heard too many people in the middle. I really like it. I like robots. I kind of got a soft spot for robots. And for a number of different reasons, of which we will get into here momentarily, I happen to think he's a really fun figure. So for those of you that don't know, the Kree Sentries were essentially big gigantic robots that were dispatched by the Kree Empire to guard military outposts or other worlds they were exploring, one of which happened to be Earth. And again, I'm not a Kree Sentry expert, but I do know that at one point the Kree Sentry fought Fantastic Four as well as Marvel, or Marvel, depending on how you want to say it. So a little bit about the character. Again, I'm not an expert on him. I remember him a little bit from my childhood, and I'm not gonna lie, I did a little bit of Google Wikipedia refreshing so I could remember exactly where this guy came from. So okay, so let's start out with the sculpt of this figure. You know, the bigger Build-A-Figures, or the bigger Marvel Legends in general, to me, they live and die by the sculpt, in the sense that the articulation is not going to be great because it's a larger figure. So if the sculpt is good, in my opinion, that makes up a little bit for some of that lack of articulation. And his sculpting, in my opinion, is really good. It's very detailed. Considering he's a very simple, you know, he's a two-color type of, well, three if you count the eyes, but really he's primarily two colors. Considering he's only got a couple colors on him, the sculpt job on it is excellent. Very, very good. The lines are nice and crisp and clean. You know, again, the lines are sculpted in, which is nice because, you know, it is only a couple colors. So the head in particular, I think, I'll bring him in a little bit, looks really good. I've heard before, and I absolutely have to admit that his helmet looks like he's wearing like a muffin tin on his head, and it's true. But if you look at an original picture of the Kree Sentry, you can see that's what they look like. So sculpt is excellent. Sculpt is really, really good. Paint details. Paint is excellent. It's got this nice metallic, you can see it's got this nice metallic purple on it. The silver on him is also metallic, and they did a good job. Comes out really well. I also like that the eyes are this kind of, you know, sky, it's kind of a sky blue. It even looks a little more aqua in person. But anyway, the paint apps are good. Again, very simple, very basic, fairly hard to screw up. We've all seen Marvel Legends screw up some paint really bad, but I happen to think that the paint on this figure is excellent. Again, that nice metallic sheen, to me, makes him look all the more robotic. So, articulation. All right, let's talk about articulation. Pretty darn good for a big character. So pretty darn good. His head does, that's probably the one kind of lacking. His head doesn't look up very well, or down very well. So we are a little bit limited. You know, it can obviously side to side. He's got a little bit of, he can get a little bit of attitude with you, but not a ton. Okay, so arms. Arms are decent. You can bring them up parallel, which is really nice for a bigger figure. You know, single jointed elbows, no big surprise there. It is what it is. Most big figures have it. He's got a cut at the bicep, and then he's got a swivel and hinge at the wrist. No cut in the forearm. Again, not surprising considering he's such a large figure. Obviously, articulation for this other arm is going to be the same. Ab crunch is pretty damn good. Again, for a bigger figure, I mean, you can look way far back. You can get him hunched down, a bit, over here to the side. So ab crunch, pretty damn good. Leg articulation, Not bad, not bad. Comes back quite a bit as well. Whee! Looks like a ballet dancer. But yeah, pretty darn good actually. Single jointed knees. No, excuse me, double jointed knees. They are double jointed. So good. Double jointed knees, always nice. Not bad at the ankles. Decent. Again, considering he's a big figure, you're going to get some hindrance because of this detail here. It kind of gets in the way. But he's got some ankle pivot and ankle rock a little bit. It's not great, but it's there. Okay, everything else, oh, does he have a cut? Yeah, he's got a cut at the thigh, which is nice. So articulation, again, considering he's a big figure, pretty darn decent. I like it, actually. Really not too bad. Again, I know not everybody's crazy about this particular BAF. I understand why, I really do. But I happen to like it, so. Let me grab a couple of other figures. We'll do a little quick size comparison. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so a little quick size comparison. Here he is next to the Abomination. Whoop, let's scoot. Here he is next to the Abomination Build-A-Figure. Very, very similar in size, very similar. Here he is next to the recently released SH Figuarts Hulk. Also scales very, very well with the bigger guys. And by the way, that SH Figuarts Hulk is amazing. If you have the money, I highly recommend picking him up if you're a Hulk fan. And then here he is next to kind of your more kind of average standard size Marvel Legends. This is the newer Magneto from the last X-Men wave. So, you know, he scales right in with, again, the bigger boys, if you will. So yeah, you know, good size figure, decent articulation, fun paint job, you know, good sculpting. I enjoy it. I went ahead and purchased the whole Captain Marvel wave. I kept all of them except for I think 2, but I think overall it's a good wave. And again, I really do enjoy this BAF. So that's been my review of the Kree Sentry Build-A-Figure from the MCU Captain Marvel Legends wave. Whew, that's a mouthful. So hit this video with a like, subscribe. This is my brand new channel. I'm going to be posting all kinds of fun, geeky stuff, hence the name, The Geeky Fireman. So thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.